tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove. Synchronize, slip now, we're on the move.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time.
Talking gold and silver and crypto too. With Joe and the gang, it's what we do.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time. We're stacking sats, we're stacking gold. In the world of finance, real gold. Every sip, every chart, we're on our way to financial freedom, come what may.
So grab that tasty beverage, let's get in the groove. Synchronize, slurp now, we're on the move.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time. Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time.
Yeah, I tried nicotine for the first time live and live stream my reaction. Why am I doing that? I'll explain that in a couple of minutes, of course. Live gold, silver, platinum analysis, and all that other fun stuff, Bitcoin and crypto too. If you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But if you're watching live, gee, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main, going out live on X and on YouTube right now. But of course we do, before anything else, we do the synchronized slurp. You grab a tasty beverage, I grab my tasty beverage. We slurp them synchronously together wherever you are in the world right now. Whatever you're drinking, that's your business, bro. We slurp them. You must do it audibly. It is the honor system. Do it with the GMS crew. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. I know. What a weird day. I'm literally going to try nicotine for the first time. I'll explain all that sort of stuff. The show is brought to you by Perth. See, look at the new fancy layout. Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Wealthstack, wealthstack.com. I don't even have my glasses on. Maybe I don't need them on today. What do you reckon? Glasses or no glasses? Whatever, man. So you're like, who's this random dude with an Australian accent? Going out live on YouTube and on X right now. I'm Joe Main. I've been a stacker of precious metals since 2010, a stacker of crypto since 2013. I've helped multiple businesses launch and grow on YouTube and other social media for their businesses specifically. I've had a very long and successful track. What's the word? Record. That one. Record of building businesses brands. Okay, so if you have a business, any kind of business, wherever you are in the world, time zones kind of help. Australian based is always good, but I'll stay up at 3 a.m. to help you. Or if you have a personal brand, whatever it is, hit me up with an email. gmstackers@gmail.com, gmstackers@gmail.com, and we'll talk about your business. We'll talk about whether it's right for you and all that. And as you know, I helped Bullion Now. I'm helping Perth Bullion Exchange. I'm doing other clients too. Any kind of business whatsoever in any field. And I've got this fancy new live chat thing. So that's actually working today as well. It's still scrolling up. We'll get to some shout outs and then we'll get to the whole stuff today. Again, normally what we do here, live gold, silver analysis, Bitcoin, crypto, and some kind of topic of the day. It happens to be literally trying nicotine. Yeah, I know. It's the whole thing. By the way, if you want to continue the conversation after the show is finished, you don't just have to stay here for an hour. You can talk 24/7 at the Good Morning Stackers Telegram channel. Do that right now. Find the live chat, or if you're watching this on the replay, I'll put it in the pinned comment. amazing stacking community that's building up right there. Gold, silver, yeah, crypto too as well, which are marrying those worlds together. And let's do some shout outs. Mark Flores says, yeah, I'm going to need my glasses for this. Mark Florida says, let me scoot back a little bit. Yeah, it's that kind of, yeah, I'm needing bifocal soon. No thanks, I'll stick with 15-year single malt Irish whiskey. Okay, not likely to join tonight, but we'll watch what I can. Appreciate that. CT from the Lone Star State. Got to catch the replay. I love you come in and say, hey, but I got to catch the replay. No problem. Nakas O'Reilly, drink too much of that Irish whiskey. You won't be seeing much of anything. Absolutely. Hit that like button on the way in. That does help with the algorithm. By the way, I've got the YouTube chat up here so you guys can see. I know you can see it in the main chat, but also if you're watching this on the replay and the replay doesn't work on the side, if you're watching this on the phone, you can see that coming through. And it also alerts me when super chats come up. So hit me up with the super chat. We're getting to the point now, 1,420 something subscribers, 3,500 followers on X. So combined with those two live chats, it's going to get a lot harder for me to read every individual thing, which I try to do. But if you really want me to see something, a super chat is the best way. I'm going to see it on the screen. I'm also going to see it on my little side screen as well. GMS, morning all, and Joe, good to see you. GMS, no nicotine. I know, this is controversial, right? I'll explain my reasons. Good morning, Stackers. Nakas O'Reilly. SEC versus Ripple case. Oh, is that why? Has been dropped now, and now Ripple will get back to, and now Ripple will try to get back any of the 125 million fine that they had to pay. Interesting. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Poke Bill, good to see you on YouTube, my friend. Great to see you. Tony, chat mum is here. Okay, I'm going to get the first part out of the way and then we'll do live gold, silver and stuff. But I've got to talk about this. Okay, we've got lots of people watching on X and on YouTube. Ready? Let's do it. I'm going to try nicotine for the first time ever in my 46 years of history, and I'm going to live stream the reaction right now. Why? Many of you people are asking, why nicotine? I've never been a smoker. I've never touched a single cigarette. I've never even had a single puff of a cigarette. Okay, never been interested. I've always thought it's the most dumbest thing that you can do in history. Of course, many smokers out there, I'm not going to, poo-poo you if you're smoking and all that. I get it's an addiction and all that kind of stuff. But recently, I've been doing a bit of a deep dive into nicotine and its potential cognitive and sort of mood benefits on a semi-regular basis. And I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Oh no, he just watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Now he's doing something stupid. You could be right. But I'm going to try it for the first time, live stream the reaction, and just see how I feel. I generally eat very, very well. I don't have any other vices. I don't really drink alcohol. I'm a pretty healthy person. I just want to try it at least once and see how we go. What does it do for me? Apparently, it gives you some kind of calm focus. It's apparently very good for people who are working at their laptops all day, trying to do something laptop-wise, not like running a marathon or doing something that requires a lot of energy. It's not like caffeine where you have a hit of it and then you're like jittery and like, yeah, let's go. It's more like you're focused, but you're calm at the same time. I'm going to try it. Yes, the Don says, well, I wasn't expecting this morning. Yeah, I know, weird, hey, but this is what I do for you guys. I try stuff and film the reaction just for you. So here we go. This is not an endorsement. The following is not an endorsement. Number one, let's do some quick caveats. 1, I am not a doctor. Do not try this yourself. Why would you do it? That's really dumb. Don't be me, okay? Nicotine is a potentially addictive substance. I'm going to give it a try for one time, see what happens, and all that. And this is not a brand thing, okay? But we have this right here, okay? I bought it off Amazon. It is 2 milligrams of nicotine gum right here, okay? We'll be talking about silver and all that sort of stuff. Nicotine gum, I'm going to try it for the first time right now. Literally, I've had it for a couple of days. As you know, I couldn't do a show yesterday because I had... Now, this is the other thing. I'm coming off a little bout of gastro. Now, I didn't really get it all that badly. The 3 other people in my family, the missus and the 2 kids, got it bad. But because I eat really well, I'm on a carnivore diet. I basically don't put crap in my body. I was an upset tummy yesterday. and a little bit of, you know what, but really not as bad. Kind of feeling mostly okay, just a little bit funny in the tummy. But hopefully that doesn't thing out. So here is nicotine gum, okay? I'm literally going to try it. Now, this is the boring part where I chew it and I've got to do some things. So apparently what I have to do is I have to chew it until it tastes good, until it tastes strong. Then I've got to lodge it in between my gum and my thing for about half an hour, apparently. But apparently in like 15 minutes, I'll start to feel the effects of it. Are you ready? This is weird, man. I'm kind of a little bit like, what's going to happen here? All right, I'm going to try it. First time trying nicotine. This is weird for me, okay? This is even weird for me. I do some weird shit. And this is weird for me. Okay, here we go. Ready? Oh, okay. I'm going to do it. Oh, man. No, I'm going to do it. So apparently it tastes strong. And then, this is the boring part, and I apologize. Wait for a strong taste and then lodge it. It tastes strong. Okay. And I'm going to lodge it. Where am I going to lodge it? All right. All right. Here. This is going to be really weird. I can speed type on the laptop with a ciggy in hand. Okay. I have just tried nicotine gum for the first time. It tastes minty. And I got the strong taste, so let me read that again. Okay, what does it say? Directions for use. Yeah. Directions for use. Chew one piece of gum slowly, until the taste becomes strong. The taste is very strong. Park the gum between your gum and cheek to absorb the nicotine. When the taste is faded, repeat the process for up to 30 minutes. Okay. So slowly. I didn't do it slowly. I'm not feeling anything yet. Okay. Back in there. Really weird. Sorry, guys. Really weird. Between the gum and the cheek. There we go. All right, let's talk. Now I'm going to be like talking weird for the next couple of minutes. Yeah, let's see what happens. I don't know. I'm the type of person that, let me just put it a different way. I've tried some things in my time. Okay. And in general, those things don't have a big effect on me. I've tried certain substances back in my earlier days. I had a year what I literally call, I'm not a person who's big in, don't smoke, hardly ever drink. I'm a kind of a straighty 180. There was a period in my 30s when I went through different years. In my early 30s, I decided one year was going to be the year of acquisition, where I just bought a bunch of things. I had a bit of money and all that. Good job and all that, and I just wanted to buy stuff that I want that good TV, or I want this thing. It was the year of acquisition, and one of the years was the year of experimentation in terms of just that stuff. It's like, I wonder what it would be like to try X substance, and I did it once, and it's like sometimes like, whoa, that's interesting, and other times I'm like, I don't feel a thing. This did nothing for me whatsoever. So nicotine, maybe it doesn't do much for me. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, I'm going to come back to that and live stream the reaction. I'll be telling you how I feel all the way through. Let's read some comments though. Naka's juicy fruit. Oh, you've got juicy fruit flavor. I've got the mint flavor right now. It's a bit weird on the back of my throat. I've got a bit of a tingle or something. That's kind of strange. Get patches instead, Joe. They'll give you vivid dreams. Yeah, you could be right. Nick Away Classic. Only 20 years to give only 20 years to give transparency on the long-term effects. Yeah, who knows? Again, this might be something I do once and go, yeah, not for me, man. And I'll just throw the rest of it away because, or unless someone else wants it, I'll send it to you. Probably not allowed to do that. Gerald Draper says, I cold turkey stopped smoking red Marlboros 3 years ago. Well done, man. Good on you. That sounds like it would have been a really hard thing to do. Let's see. Nicotine gum tastes disgusting. It's not great. It's not great, I must say. And you said I can speed type on my laptop with a ciggy in hand. You're still smoking, Tony. Interesting. Silver Ruger says, I've been meaning to get on the patches. Okay, that's if you're a previous smoker and you've been meaning to get on the patches. Interesting. Tony says, real tobacco is good. Apparently, it's all the chemicals they add that makes it bad. Yes, apparently so. So again, just going to give it a try. See what happens. I may not. Now, interesting. I want you to be my my observer as well. So you notice, in the next 15 minutes or so, 30 minutes? Am I acting a little different? I don't fucking know. Let's find out. Good morning all. Looks like silver is chugging along nicely. Yes. Okay. Yes. Here's a big thing. Nicotine patches help you if you've had that thing, as the same receptors in the brain are used by both. Yes. This is also something I found out in my deep dive in the last week or so, roughly. It's the nicotinic receptors in the brain. So literally you have nicotinic receptors in the brain called the nicotinic receptors that have been there since how long? Hundreds of thousands, millions of, I don't know what do you want to call it, dawn of human civilization. Maybe it evolved over time. But you have these nicotinic receptors before, apparently, I guess before tobacco was even first discovered and used and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. And apparently, yes, a lot of smokers, they figured out the correlation between people who smoked and people who got COVID. Apparently, a lot less regular smokers got COVID. And because of that thing, that pathway, the same receptors in the brain are used by both. So kind of, if you're using, basically, I think the deal was, if you were already using nicotine in some form, the receptors were already full. And so COVID wouldn't get into those receptors and then give you the sickness. Apparently, okay, give you the cough, as they say. Yeah, okay, so we will get off that. Not for the health benefits everyone tells me taste. No, for the health benefits everyone tells me it tastes bad. Might not be advisable if you suffer epilepsy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Dennis McManus, first time chatter. All right, let's get all to the good stuff here, and we'll live stream my reaction. Let's take a look at. We're going to take a look at gold, silver, platinum, and all that other stuff. I'm going to share the screen right now. Get to the normal stuff that we do, and I'm going to shift myself over here. Wow, here we go. Here is gold on the daily time frame, priced in USD, $3,049 US. Congratulations to all. A brand new all-time high in gold. This is in US dollars, of course, using the tradingview.com website. And we're on the daily time frame. So, as I've been saying, and I do think this still to be the case, and I'll keep harping on it for a little bit, I think we are starting to lose the steam a little bit. We are rocketing up pretty quickly. There's a little bit of euphoria going on. All the stackers are like, yeah, gold, new all-time high. You've just got to watch your emotions very clearly, and you've got to almost counter trade your own emotions. So it feels like, plus when I look at the technicals, it feels like it's just starting to wane at the moment. As you know, I'll pop on the weekly time frame. Let's see, right here. Is that trend line? No, it's not that one. It's that one here. Rectangle? No, it's not this one. Excuse me. It's that one. Okay, I've been saying for a bit, after we broke out of the mother of all trend lines, which is this mother of all trend lines here, 1980, 2011, we've broken back above it. Fantastic, good to see. Starting to get peaky, and I think we peak short-term peak. Now, I could be really wrong on this. Other people are calling like $3,500, $3,600 US dollars, but I reckon between $2,900 and $3,200 roughly. I could be completely wrong on this. And by the way, I'm an amateur, so it doesn't really matter. And you should be totally dollar cost averaging in the first place. Anyway, but let me get rid of that. I must say, geez, on this 1 month time frame though, it's potential that I could be really wrong on that. We're only like $150 away from that top end of 3,200, but I just really want to show you, as you know, let me pop on the indicators right here on the weekly time frame. I probably have all this other stuff drawn in, but I'll draw it in again. Okay, on the weekly time frame, it depends where we top out. Okay, this is the important thing. It depends where we top out. But so far, we're in an upward direction on the fiat dollar currency, and we're in a downward direction at the moment. But we're certainly not in an upward direction on the relative strength index. That can indicate a potential bearish divergence. And again, we've had a massive move. Okay, since we come off this level here of about $1,800 US dollars. That's about a 65-70% move as of right now. So that's since October of 2023. Okay. Yeah, it's about a 65-70% move. Not bad. Okay. And as I've been saying, just watch it from here. It's great to see it at higher prices, no problem. But if we have a major peak, right? If we have a big spike somewhere up in this general area, if you want to call it 3,200, call it 3,200. And if that matches with roughly the top end right here, what you've got, so if we come up here and then we have this turnover, well, you've got a higher high and quite a much higher high on the fiat dollar price, and then a flattening out, and a potential even lower high on the relative strength index, bearish divergence, and then you would see that tick over for a decent period, maybe a number of weeks, few months, something like that. It's coming as far as I am concerned, of course, because number go up, number go down. That's really all you need to know. So that's what I'm thinking about at the moment in terms of gold. We're already going back into extremely overvalued on the weekly time frame. Yeah, okay, so if I show you on the monthly time frame, we're back into extremely overvalued, or overbought, I should say, on the daily time frame as well. Similar thing, okay? Higher highs and lower highs on the relative strength index. Again, what would negate all this? Well, if we just shoot through and we go to $3,300, $3,600 gold, this might end up being where the big, kind of the blow off top is. That could go up higher. Okay, so you could be up all the way up here. So then you've actually got a higher high and a higher high on the relative strength index as well. Which would, I did say a couple of days ago, which would say, well, there's no bearish divergence there. However, bear in mind again, you're going into extremely overbought already on the daily time frame. So kind of either way, I think number go up, number go down. We've had a beautiful move back above for the first time ever above the mother of all trend lines. So this is the one formed in 1980, 2011, formed the mother of all trend lines. We've been above it, had a good few months above it, and then we'll have a peak somewhere, and I think we will come back to test it at some point. That's what we're going to do. From where, I don't know, but I think we'll do that. It seems to be the most likely. The only other option there, again, this is all spitballing, it's just a weather report, right? Is that some people might say, well, that was the move there. I don't think so, because that was a failed move to hold it, excuse me, and then a quick fake out. So I think we do something like that. And once we do that, ignore the time frame. Okay, could happen much, much sooner. And then that would be the most perfect setup for gold ever. Okay, in my 46 years. Okay, right there, have the retest, bounce off, and then break that again. It is on like absolute Donkey Kong, which it probably already is. Okay, but then we're talking much, much higher over time. Of course, we're talking your multiple thousands of dollars in USD terms. We're talking $8,000 to $10,000 in the next sort of 5-10 years roughly, or possibly even higher. Some people believe that to be the case. So anyway, the short answer is great to see a new all-time high in gold, and that's what I'm seeing in the next few months. Bit of a rise, come back down to test there, and then onwards and upwards we go. Could I be wrong? Yes. Should you dollar cost average? Yes. So that is gold. Let's take a look at silver. Now, interestingly, silver is not pumping as hard as gold is at the moment. Okay. But as you know, silver does lag. Where gold goes, silver does tend to follow. It just takes a number of months to do so. Okay. So what I like to see though is that we are still above $33.50. Here is silver on the daily time frame, $33.85 US cents, tradingview.com website, and we've found support very, very nicely. Let me mute that. We found support very nicely. 1, 2, 3 spikes down to $33.50, has acted as support so far. Great to see. What does it do from here? I don't know, and neither do you on the shorter term. On the longer term, very, very bullish on it. Okay, so that is silver on the monthly time frame. Let's just sit back and look at the glory that is this silver price. It is just onwards and upwards, very likely from here. It's as ASX Trader said recently in one of his posts, it's like probably some of the easiest money ever, like one of the easiest trades ever over the longer term, and I do happen to agree. Of course, why? For the newbies and for all the crypto people who have joined me to see BTC and XRP and other crypto stuff. We'll get to that very soon. Why? Because silver is in the world's largest cup and handle formation. There's your cup, there's your handle. We're going to eventually break $50 USD, and it's going to rocket after there. It'll be in the biggest price discovery that any asset has ever been in ever. Why? Again, 45 years in the making, okay? Then in the next 5, 10, even up to 20 years, we're going to see this go much, much higher. We're talking obviously triple-digit silver, no problem. Not a doubling, a tripling of your investment from here, easy in the next, I'd say, 5, 10 years, very easy. And also I've been talking about, as you know, that magical $730 silver mark. That's all the way up here. Where are $700 to $730. That's if the cup and handle plays out in its completeness. Okay, so you take the depth of the cup and then you take it out to where it breaks out at. So at the $50, that takes it up to right there, which is around about your $700 level. Is that going to happen in the next year? No. In the next 5 years? Probably not. 10 to 20 years from now, you can easily see $700 silver. And I thought I was kind of crazy when I originally saw that. I thought, man, cup and handle? Yeah, but if it plays out, it could. And then I asked ASX Trader, for example, joined me on the channel a few weeks ago. Check out that interview. And he said, no, you're not crazy, man. It's doable. It'll just take longer than people think. Not 3 to 5 years from now, 10 to 20 years. Very, very doable, okay? That can easily play out over the longer term. So if we're talking, if we're talking 20 years, then we're talking 2045, sure, something like that. Are you telling me that that's not doable, that we break $50, we come back, maybe test it, triple digit, everyone's going crazy, have a bit of a... Are you telling me that can't happen? Or pick the thing, right? Are you telling me that kind of angle can't happen in 20 years? Yeah, it can. Very simple. So silver is one of the greatest generational plays in history, okay? Could not say more positive things about it. Now, as you know, I've been recently swapping a bit of my silver holdings. I'm basically an all silver stacker. I don't hold a tiny little bit of gold. Into the crypto market, been trying to play that thing. I'm not ready to cut it just yet. I've still upped my stack a little bit, but it's maybe time for me to get back all into silver, possibly. Just watching the crypto market, we have a bit of a jump in the last 24, 48 hours, roughly. We'll take a look at that in just a second. But anyway, silver looking absolutely fantastic. Here is platinum. Am I still going out live? I'll just double check. Yep, still going live. Fantastic. I will read your comments and I'll get your reactions to me. I'll get my own reactions to me trying nicotine for the first time. Weird, isn't it? I don't think I feel anything yet. Although that could be the typical, I don't feel anything, man. I don't feel anything. And then all of a sudden it just hits you like a freight train. Here is platinum. Platinum on the daily time frame price in USD, $998.66 US cents. We had a move up to 1,010. Okay, so once again, we are in my cautiously excited zone for platinum. That's really great to see. Okay, and so far so good on the weekly time frame. We closed, as I said, we're first time in quite a while where we have closed the week above it, okay? Doesn't mean we're out of the woods with platinum, okay? I need to see it get into my, excuse me, let me do that. I need to see it get into my excited zone, okay? As you know, that's anywhere in here. So let's clear about $1,020, then I'll be talking, oh yeah, really excited for platinum, okay? Not there yet. It can fake me out, what I would like to see. And it's basically, I was going to say it's been following my pattern, but it hasn't. You did have that fake out right here at 940. Oh, actually it has been following my pattern. What I wanted to see is do this, then find that support and then break out and do something like that would be fantastic. That will be so good for platinum. I know a lot of you are platinum aficionados, and for me, the final hurdle, 1,115, close any month above there decently. It's go, go, go time for platinum. So far, so good. Cautiously excited for platinum right now. Gold will have its time in the sun first. Silver will follow, and then platinum, and then probably palladium. We'll talk about palladium way down the track, though. Your three big boys, gold, silver, and platinum, and they track like that. Gold first, silver, then platinum. So we're not out of the woods yet for platinum. Looking amazing for gold and silver, though, so far. That is the three metals. Now, out of interest, because gold has been rocketing up in the last 24 hours, making new all-time highs. Silver has been lagging, so you've seen the gold to silver ratio break back up into that area, which I didn't think we would find, that I didn't think we would go back into. Okay, I thought we would find resistance here like that, but I was wrong. So we're back in here. What you would want to see if you're a massive silver head, okay, if you're a massive silver stacker and you don't care about gold, okay, what you would want to see is this not find support. You want to see something like that and then back down. Okay, that's very good for silver against gold. If you're a gold bug and you don't care about silver, what you want to see is that becomes support again and then just stay within this range, okay? And then eventually you want to see that break, okay? That would be great for gold. I think the higher that this goes, silver is looking just more and more undervalued over time. It's going to be silver's time eventually, okay? Let's do, like, actually, I was going to say let's do that instead, but you know what? For that going up and up and up again, everyone's talking about gold, the next best investment, all that kind of stuff. That's the perfect time to load up with silver because, it's like just like the magician, what the one hand is doing, you watch what the other hand is doing. Instead, they, shiny gold, shiny gold, shiny gold, and then everyone's secretly buying silver. All the whales are buying silver down here, okay? That's the time to buy silver as this is creeping higher and higher, if it indeed continues to do that. So gold to silver ratio, and yeah, I've got nothing else to talk about from that side of things. I'll get to your comments in just a second, but of course, first buy from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, world's greatest bullion dealer. No, I'm not joking when I say that. They are the best. They give you free shipping when you have 20 or more items in your order. Okay? They price match promise as such with some terms and conditions. If you can find an item on their website on another dealer's website within Australia, one of the major bullion dealers, there's a couple of caveats to that. They'll match the price. Plus, again, you get free shipping. Plus, you get the volume discounts as well. Come on, man. And look at all these 5-star reviews for Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. If you buy from them, pay on the same day, and they receive payment on the same day by 2 o'clock Perth time, okay, this is in Western Australia, they'll even pack and ship your order same day. I've had people, and probably can attest to this in the comments right now, they've ordered on a Monday, they paid on the Monday, it got shipped on the Monday, they received it on the Tuesday, okay? Can you tell me any other bullion dealer right now that does that? Even the big boys, particularly one in particular? No, shipping times get pretty pushed out, don't they? Not at Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. And of course, if you want to save and invest in real physical gold, download, but you don't want the hassle of having to hold it yourself. If you're like, yeah, I'm okay with unallocated gold programs, no problem. As long as I trust the company, as long as they're Australian owned, operated, regulated like Wealthstack, wealthstack.com is, then you're happy to save and invest in real physical gold using an app. Your iPhone or Android app, the Wealthstack app, is amazing, okay? You're buying gold for spot plus 1%, no matter whether you buy $1 million of gold or $10 of gold. A great way to save in very small amounts. If this isn't for you, no problem. Send it to your friends and family who you've been trying to wake up to get into precious metals, but they're just like, you're a weird stacker, man. You're just weird. I don't want to do that collecting thing. Fine. Get them to buy real money, backed one-to-one with real physical metal. These guys don't deal in paper contracts and all that crap, okay? They deal with real physical metal, okay? Wealthstack, wealthstack.com. Get them to go to the website, go down to the bottom left-hand corner, click on the frequently asked questions page, and just find out more about Wealthstack. Wealthstack.com. Let's go to some comments. Let's give you a nicotine update. It has been The flavor's gone. Nicotine update. Flavor went. I'm going to chew it again. And then I'm going to put it in the other side. See how we go. I don't feel like I'm feeling anything. Really, I don't think. But what it's... this is so gross, me doing this at the same time. What it's supposed to do, again, is give you a calmer, bit more of a focus, but in a calm way. The test will be after I finish the live stream, so out of interest. After I finish the live stream, I don't just log off and go have lunch or breakfast. I fast in the mornings. I actually literally, I spend a good bit of time. I've got to optimize this. I've got to do a thumbnail and all this kind of stuff. Then I've got to do work for my clients. So I can spend 2-3 hours after the live stream just doing stuff on the computer. That might be the big test. How focused am I at that time? I'm not really feeling much at the moment, but I could be wrong. Let's get to your comments. I'll chew this and I'll stick it in the other side. I love the fact that this is still working up here as well. That's still coming through. That is fantastic to see. Once again, please give me your likes. That would be very, very helpful. And if you want to do a super chat, the super chat will come up here. And I can actually click on it and sort of open it up, and I can click on it down here too. It helps support the show. Is that $1, $5, $10 million, whatever you want? Hazza, good to see you, my friend. Don't mean to be rude and chew gum, but there is a reason. Tony Pearson says, yep, the gum is horrid. Patches are excellent. Yeah, I might have to change that. I've given up lots of time using patches. Good on you, Tony. It's weird when you chew it, though. Oh, that's really strange. I'm going to pluck it in this side now. I'm not really, I don't feel like I'm feeling anything. Like I don't feel like I have a big dopamine hit. Apparently this is what nicotine does. If you're just watching, if you've just joined me live, I'm literally trying nicotine gum. Nicotine, like any kind, I've never smoked, never done anything like that. I'm trying it for the first time and live streaming my reaction. I don't feel like I feel anything, but maybe it's not like a drug. It's not like you take, well, I won't name the drugs, but it's not like you take certain like really happy drugs and then you just like, all of a sudden it's a wave and you're like, oh, I've got to touch something. It's nothing like that. But apparently what it does do, it hits the nicotinic receptors and it does apparently increase dopamine. So it's supposed to give you a bit more of a, oh, I feel a little bit good. Okay. But again, that sort of calm focus where you can concentrate on things for a good period of time. Apparently it's very good and I've never suffered from, and to those who do, I really feel for you. I've never had, I don't suffer from any kind of usual like chronic anxiety or depression. I don't have ADHD as far as I'm aware. I've never had that kind of stuff, but apparently nicotine is quite good. And that's why so many people with ADHD, they smoke a lot and they think it's because it helps them, but it's probably because of the nicotine and the nicotinic receptors. Okay. Yeah, not really. I don't feel like I'm feeling much, but that could be the sign. Let's see. XRP. Comments, and then we'll get to crypto stuff right here. Huzzah! $53.21 Australian cents for silver. You are absolutely correct. Let's see. Saving up to get some more in the next few weeks for silver. Good on you, man. Let's see. Paper markets are going to fly, going to be on fire, says Tony. The COMEX, I read that. The COMEX are scaling back ETFs. What does that portend, I wonder? Someday I will achieve enough platinum to match Joe's hoard. I have no more hoard. I think I mentioned that a while ago. I sold my 1 ounce of platinum a while ago. Smoke a real ciggy, Joe, and you'll get a head spin. No, thank you. Nope. I've literally been because I've been an entertainer for 25 years, and so I've been in a million clubs, and all my band members over the years, different band members I've had, I always said I don't smoke. And one of my drummers in particular will go on, mate, go on, have a puff. And I'd take a cigarette out of his packet, I'd put it up to my lips, and I kind of like pretend and look, and he goes to light it, and I go, no, man. Like I've never literally. That's the one thing I never wanted to cross. I never wanted to. It was just this weird kind of barrier that I didn't want to cross. I didn't want to put a lit cigarette to my lips because I didn't want. And I'm an asthmatic, so I'm a former asthmatic. I don't really have a lot of asthma these days because I changed my diet. Let's see. Chat Mum, thank you for the holding the seafood. Good on you. Ainslie Bullion vid. What about Ainslie Bullion, my former employer, who I used to work for? As you know, I worked for 3 major bullion dealers in Australia, Goldstackers, Bullion Now, and Ainslie Bullion. What about an Ainslie Bullion vid? What's going on with them? Yes, silver is where the smart money is investing. Yes, again, watch the hand. Ready? Watch the hand. Watch the hand. Ready? Watch the hand. Watch this hand, everyone. Watch this hand right here. Watch the hand. Watch the hand. Okay. And the other hand is purchasing silver, right? Instead of gold. Let's see. My research topic of the day. A Lloydal title. Yes, we'll get back to that. All right, I'm going to go to... Poke says, go for head spin, Joe, 16 milligrams. No, thank you. I'll stick with the 2 milligrams. Let's get into some crypto stuff and then we'll... am I feeling it right now? I feel kind of good now. Interesting. Let's see. I will get into crypto side of things. Let's take a look for all my wonderful crypto people. I've got 100 people watching both live on X and on YouTube right now. I'll share the screen again. We'll go to crypto. It's had a bit of a run in the last 24 hours, roughly. Ooh, wow, and it's still going. Okay, interesting. Let me share the screen for you. Once again, super chats are open, and if you want to chat, you can do so on the YouTube chat, and you can do it live on X as well. You may not be aware, all you X watchers, there is a live chat feature. If for some reason you can't find it, go over to my X channel, okay, click on the YouTube link to my channel, the YouTube channel, and just join the YouTube channel because then you can participate in the live chat, which is coming up right now. Cool. Which is up right there on my right-hand side. Your right-hand side. Let's go share the screen and let's take a look at crypto and all that stuff. Yes, I know some of you are like, I hate crypto. I'm bringing the two worlds together, people. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars, 86,400. Okay. We did have, as we were talking about, this potential bullish divergence pattern playing out. Lower low on the fiat dollar price, higher low on the relative strength index was setting up a bullish divergence. The question for me, because I'm an amateur here, don't forget, the question for me always comes, and I'll speak to more pros about this. When I get ASX Trader on this channel again, I'll ask him this question. I'll try to. If that's a bullish divergence, which it looked like, where is the sort of the more likely topping out procedure? Because I thought, well, bullish divergence, and then we did see some higher prices, and we got up to around about 85,500. I'm like, well, does that mean is that it? Is that the bullish divergence done? Clearly not. We have rocketed from 82,000 up to 86,500. Let's pop on the, I'm going to pop on some Fibonacci and see, has that broken over any key levels from this? We'll take it from this high and this low, which is probably the best way to do it right now. And we are back through, gee, what do you know? Okay, so we found some resistance at this is a level I had been talking about previously, at 84,000 roughly. So let me do that. Yeah, it's close enough. 109. Yeah, that'll do. So we're back through the 0.236. Okay, so the next level we really need to clear. And isn't this interesting? Again, I find Fibonacci so amazing. Why is Fibonacci amazing? I don't know. Is it because it's a magical ratio, based on the 1.618 golden ratio, etc.? Is it an amazing thing? It's just magical, or is it just a self-fulfilling prophecy? Okay, if enough people believe it works, then they place their trades accordingly. Who knows? But look at this, 109,000 and this recent low of $77,000. Where is the next resistance level after breaking through 0.236? It's right here at the 0.382. Does that line up with any major previous level of support or any kind of level of support? Oh, bang on right there. That spike back in January of this year when we had that first major spike, that sort of liquidating longs and all that kind of stuff back then. What was it? It was the Bybit hack, wasn't it? Was that the Bybit hack that took it, or was that one? I don't know. Right down there, exactly. Isn't it amazing how that works? Okay, so that's your next major area of resistance that you need to break through. If we're in a bear market now for Bitcoin and Bitcoin is done, I would expect to see some resistance here. Okay, now you'll probably see some resistance here at that $89,000 mark, $90,000 area, and you want this to become support. Okay, so 84,500 must become support now for Bitcoin. If that doesn't, if we do something like this and then you break down back below here, yeah, okay, not good. That looks like something. So that wouldn't be great. Okay, that's a potential left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then head and shoulders pattern, and down we go. Okay, you need to see that crack through and hold pretty quick smart, and of course the final confirmation, you could call it that 92,000, but for me it's going to be this uptrend line right here. Again, goes all the way back to the previous all-time high. Excuse me, don't mean to give you some kind of motion sickness. There and there formed that uptrend line. It respected it very, very well over a good number of weeks. Support, spikes, but closing above. That even there, right? That spike all the way down and then closed above. Then we had the final, oh, it broke and then it stayed below. Okay, quick spike down. That's the level you need to hold. You need to break and hold. Do that. Chef's kiss for Bitcoin. It is pretty much go time. Okay. Probably would signal the continued bull market for Bitcoin and general crypto in 2025. Would probably set up altcoin season at the same time. So look, so far so good, but we have those hurdles to get over, which the next one is at $89,000. Watch that specifically, that one right there. So that's Bitcoin. Let's quickly take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Okay, Bitcoin dominance. As this is going up, Bitcoin's the more dominant. It's the number one. Basically, as you see this going down, as this goes down, it can portend altcoin season. Okay, so if we're hovering, I did like the fact, and I did show you this a while ago, that we had this spike up to here. That was normally we would say we don't like the big spikes in the upward direction because it says sellers are in control of the market. But with this Bitcoin dominance ratio, we actually want that. If you want to see an altcoin season, you really want to see these big spikes because it says no, altcoins might still be, they're going to be the flavor of the year. We're seeing a resistance level right here at around about that 62.3. As long as that remains resistance, there's a really good chance that we tick over. Okay, is there any bearish divergence playing out? Let's have a quick look on that. So I noted that bearish divergence back here. So that's still potentially playing out. Yeah, that's still playing out. Potentially that higher high and that lower high on the relative strength index. Okay, could still be good. Okay, we have technically come up to test it so that's one time, a second test right here. We haven't broken through it. Okay, and on the daily time frame going back. So this is me trying to figure out, do we have a potential altcoin season coming, continued one in 2025? Price, let's see. So do you take it from the spike? This is the thing, you take it from the spike. I would say, technically, if we're taking just a couple of daily spikes, right here, that's technically a higher high. And bear in mind, am I looking for, do I have confirmation bias? Am I just searching for what I want? Yeah, could be the case. But what I would notice here is, at least on the daily time frame, technically a higher high on the Bitcoin dominance and technically a lower high on the relative strength index. Again, can signal a bearish divergence. You want that to occur if you want to see altcoin season. So it looks like potentially the momentum is waning on Bitcoin dominance. Don't go above there and tick over here, and I would say cross about there, and you're looking quite good for a further move in the altcoins. Full altcoin season? Maybe not. Okay, for me, that line still remains here of full-on altcoin season when we break the 57% mark right there. So do something like this. Okay, do that. game on for altcoins, and that would be altcoin season 2025. Then we'll talk about all our favorites going up higher and higher, and which they would. Okay, so that's Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance talks about altcoin season. I'll quickly show you the others. Okay, we're back above the $230 billion mark. This is others, which signifies the altcoin market minus the top 10. We are back above the 230 billion mark, which we needed to see it at least climb above. Good to see, back above 230 billion. We're not out of the woods just yet, however. We do need to see it climb above. Why is that doing that to me? I'll put it around about there and there. Cool. Now we did break that, so that's good news. Okay, so now it needs to break this area here, and you could call it around about your 250 billion. That's that previous area of resistance right here. Break 250 billion, and that will be a really nice setup because that gets back into this zone right here. Okay, excuse me, that's a lot of junk, I'm sorry. That gets back into this zone, which I'd had drawn in for a bit. So then we're back in here. That's what you want to see. Get back into here. Great for the altcoins. Brush. Okay, and of course, you must clear 280 billion. Okay, that's a pretty good change of market structure, I guess you would call it that. Do that, looking really good for the altcoins. Okay. Not there yet. Great to see us above 230 billion. So far, so good. Just got to be aware of a fake out here and then something like that. Bad news bears. Okay. So far, okay. Looking positive in the last 24 hours. Let's take a look at some individual crypto, which I want to do. Give me a second. I'll do that and go back to here. Here is one of my favorites. I talk about it a lot. Here is ACH, Alchemy Pay, 2.34 cents. Okay, so crypto's having a little bit of a relief at the moment, and I would still call it that at the moment. It's just a bit of a relief so far after a big downtrend. Okay, you can see on Alchemy Pay, this is one of the ones I will be getting back into if it does eventually go over certain levels. Looking for a higher move, okay, your next major resistance level is at 3 cents. Why 3 cents? Because it is a major Fibonacci level from the old highs and the old lows. Excuse me again, don't mean to give you motion sickness. This old high of 10 cents roughly, this old low of around about 0.007. Mr. Bond, that is the high and the low, and then you've got this Fibonacci level. So this is the 0.236, this is the 0.382. Out of interest, they have remained as decent levels of support and resistance. Okay, you can see definitely on that 4 cent mark at the 0.382, that's been major resistance. Okay, you've had a couple of spikes, but it's basically closed weeks or months below it. Okay, right there at your 4 cent mark. If we close above 3 cents, great. I'm really focusing and potentially getting back into ACH. And if we do that, if we break out of the long-term downtrend line, great news. If we do that and hold it, I am bang right back into ACH. Okay, and as you know, I'm mainly parked in US dollars at the moment. I will give you a heads up right now, and I'll talk about this tomorrow. I have purchased some silver mining stocks, and I've purchased some rare earth metal stocks, and I think there's 1 or 2 other stocks that I'm currently in. I'm going to share that entire list tomorrow with you guys, so make sure you watch tomorrow's live show. What stocks am I currently in? But I've still got a decent amount of US dollars, which I've been parked in for a while, waiting to see what happens with crypto. Do I stay in crypto? Do I get out of crypto, get back into upping my silver stack, for example? But I have dipped my toe into the stock market recently. Okay, I'll share all those tomorrow's show. But yeah, ACH really back in after 4 cents. Let's see what happens. At least got to get over 3 cents. So that's ACH. Let's take a look at XRP. Ooh, interesting. Here is XRP on the weekly time frame. Price in USD, $2.55 US cents. We potentially have a full-on invalidated head and shoulders pattern. Okay, left shoulder, head, right shoulder was potentially playing out. A couple of spikes below the neckline. That was at $2.10. It closed last week above it, which said, okay, this might not be a thing now. Okay, we are having a great week so far from $2.20 to $2.50. Probably an invalidated Head and Shoulders, although what I do need to see is it close above $2.60. That's been my final hurdle for new all-time highs coming soon for quite a while. So it's at least got to get over that $2.60 mark and close the week above it. Do that, gangbusters, game on. Okay, so far, so good. As someone in the comment just said, apparently the SEC Ripple case has been dropped, I think it was, and now will they get... So that's good news unto itself, okay? And is XRP the canary in the coal mine for the rest of crypto? It seemed to be in the last run. XRP had this big run, and then the rest of crypto tended to follow. Not perfect for every single crypto, but it did seem to be the canary in the coal mine. It failed to break significantly above a new all-time high. It broke it like by 20 cents. Then this consolidation period, okay? Are we onwards and upwards from here? I don't know the answer. Let me know. Are you confident with XRP? XRP is the crossover crypto. Many of the precious metal stackers in the world who are open to crypto love XRP because it's one of the, I don't remember the term, it's the ISO 022 something, one of those ones that apparently many gold stacker and silver stacker people believe will become part of the new financial system because it's part of the SWIFT system and all that kind of stuff. So they're very bullish on XRP and very bullish on XLM, Stellar Lumens as well. Out of interest, while we're here, let's quickly talk about XLM. I didn't put it in the tickers to talk about, but here's XLM, Stellar Lumens. One of those again, ISO something 22 contract things. Has had a low so far, if that is the low, of 22 cents. Isn't that interesting? What did I say? I had all these levels drawn in, right? I had the 20-cent line in the sand, don't close below there. We didn't. I had the 24-cent hold here, please. What did we do? We spiked, but we held it on the weekly time frame. Again, spikes mean SHIT. It's where, and the daily time frame doesn't really matter too much. It's about where things close out on the weekly and the monthly. Out of interest, in the last, I haven't looked at Stellar for a little bit, so it's been a number of weeks since I've looked at it. What did we have? We had a spike down on the daily. We closed the day above it or at it. That's actually really positive for XLM. Could this be onwards and upwards? And we also had a bullish divergence playing out. Lower high, flattening out on the relative strength index as well. Set up the bullish divergence. The next major level you need to look out for, and I do believe, again, the Fibonacci levels from old highs and old lows really are important to watch, okay? They tend to match up very well in hindsight, okay? And so it's right here. Your next major level you have to clear and hold 35 US cents. Between here and here, it's kind of any man's game. It's the bull or bear game at the moment. But if you close above 35 cents and that holds, you do that, that's probably game on and probably spells, again, much bigger run for Stellar Lumens too. Very key level, 35 cents. If you'd like to stay updated with that, use your own charts, man. Just set an alert on there or whatever, or follow me on X and on YouTube right now. That's Stellar Lumens. Cool. And quickly, for my TOSHI family, let's take a look at TOSHI on the daily time frame priced in US dollars. Let me start that again. Let's take a look at TOSHI on the daily time frame priced in US dollars. 00037 hasn't been pumping as much as everything else has in the last in the last 24 hours. We're still within that no man's land zone. If everything else is having a bit of a pump, I would potentially expect TOSHI to have a bit of a pump in the next 24, 48 hours. We just need to get out of this range right here. Let me do that. Got to get out of that range. I would suggest if it breaks out and it teases out of here, that's going to be a quick pump. Okay, look up to, maybe 0.0045 would be a good level. You would probably find some resistance and then hopefully do something like that and onwards and upwards from there. I'm not saying that is going to happen, but that's what I would need to see. Of course, clear over 0.0006, looking positive. Clear 0.0007, that's probably a change of your market structure, and that means like really like onwards and upwards from there for TOSHI. And as you know, for TOSHI, anywhere above 0.0009 is game on for TOSHI. That means just probably much more likely, continued highs and probably break the previous all-time high of that 0.002. Okay, I'm not back in TOSHI yet. I've got to see it at least clear that 0.0006, then I will consider it. Closes that 0.0007, I'm probably back into TOSHI in a decent way as well. Love the TOSHI community. It's a fantastic meme coin. If crypto is going to go through another run in 2025, that would probably confirm it that it will, above that 0.0007. I will be back in TOSHI. Out of all the meme coins, TOSHI is one of the best. Why? It's listed on Coinbase. Coinbase owned by Brian Armstrong, CEO. Brian Armstrong's cat is named TOSHI, has a cat named TOSHI, hence TOSHI meme. And it's such a huge community. Whenever I talk about TOSHI, whenever I do a video, I post it on X, it gets, without me even asking the community, it gets reposted and that tells you. So it's the energy surrounding it. So I can just post about TOSHI and it gets picked up. Comments, yeah, go TOSHI, it's the best. And they're not just bot accounts, I can tell. Lots of reposts, etc. People getting around it. It's a huge community. If the meme coin thing will continue to be a thing in 2025, in this next cycle, if it happens, I guarantee you TOSHI will be a big player. Again, listed on Coinbase, Brian Armstrong's cat, all that good stuff. So if it's going to continue, watch out for TOSHI. And I love my TOSHI fam. Leave a comment below if you are ultra bullish on TOSHI, if you're still in, or if you're going to get back in as well. Leave a comment right now. Comments, queries, and we'll do. Let's see. Let me hit that. Let's see. Let me get down to the bottom here. And it is still working. The live chat is still working up on here. Please. So we're going to do some final comments. And I'm going to give you my final live reaction to me, literally trying, if you've just joined us towards the end of the show, I tried nicotine for the very first time live here on air right now. So it's been about an hour since I've tried it. I chewed it, I parked it on one side, then I chewed it and parked it on the other side. How am I feeling right now? I feel okay. I don't feel anything massive. I feel a little bit good. I don't know. Is 2 milligrams, because it's a very small amount, is 2 milligrams not enough? I feel fine. Maybe I feel a little bit boosted. Yeah, okay, maybe I got a little bit of a hit of dopamine. I don't feel bad. I'll put it that way. Again, I had gastro last night. My family went through gastro over the last 72 hours, roughly. I was the last man standing because I eat very well. There's basically nothing in my gut that can react badly, like the germs or whatever it is can't react with bad food in my belly. I'm a carnivore. I'm basically zero carb all the time. So I didn't really feel much of the effects. I didn't have it for like 48 hours. I'm like, haha, I got a little bit confident to the missus. And I was like, haha, I'm not going to get it. Yesterday evening, I just started feeling a bit weird. And then I was on the couch. I didn't feel good overnight. I had a funny tummy. I did have a couple of little trips to the bathroom, but they weren't terrible. Okay. But I slept it off. I've woken up this morning. I feel mostly fine. A bit of a tummy thing, but interestingly, after the nicotine, my tummy doesn't feel nearly as bad as it did. Could that be a thing, or could it just be the timing? Let's see, final comments and we'll get out of here. So that's my current reaction to nicotine. I don't feel a lot, but I feel just a little bit more okay. So that could be it for me for nicotine. Maybe I need to try it again. Again, the big test will be after this live show, doing work. Am I much more focused? Am I able to just get stuff done a lot quicker? I feel calm. I don't feel jittery or anything like that. So that's probably true for the nicotine thing. I'm not going to start smoking durries and Marlboros and all that stuff. Will I try this again? So here we go. This is not, I keep doing this. It's not an endorsement. Do not buy this. But will I try nicotine gum again? Yes, I will try it again. I think again, I'm going to not study for a bit. I'm going to do my work today. Will I try it tomorrow? Yeah, I probably will. Okay, so that's the first reaction. Not a huge amount of reaction. I feel it's interesting. There's definitely something going on, and I'm going to explore that further. Okay, now I'm going to get your observations. Have I changed it all? I don't think so. Let's do all your comments, people. And once again, towards the end of the show, if you want to get a super chat in, please do. It helps with the show. It'll show up on here. I'll give you a big shout out. It'll be a whole bunch of love. Daz Stone, good to see you, man. Good mid-morning, stackers. Yeah. Final comments. And when I say final comments, there's a lot of comments and questions to get out of the way. So we've done all the regular stuff. Let me go back. That's who yes, very good. Dr. Artis. Now I'm going to talk about Dr. Artis in just a second. I find him to be an interesting character. Let's see, smart money investing. Now Tony said, yes, my research topic of the day is alloidal title, the only way to truly own your house and land. Yes, on alloidal title. I looked into alloidal title many years ago. Back when I went through the Sons of Liberty Academy through Chris Dwayne. Tony, you know Chris Dwayne very, very well. Silver Bullet, Silver Shield products. Tony, if you want to buy Silver Shield products, Tony is the person to speak to. She gets in the big range of Silver Shield products, all the micro mintages, etc. So she's the one to reach out to. I actually used to do that. I used to do what Tony did. We're probably competitors at one point where I was a Silver Shield member. I think I still am technically. And I would get the micro mintages and then sell, buy more, do like a group buy and do that. But if you want Silver Shield, anyway, speak to Tony. Chris Dwayne created the Sons of Liberty Academy, 48 hours worth of video presentation about how the world works. Basically, it's probably like 15 years old now. It's going back a way, but he talked about at one point alloidal title. What is alloidal? I can never say it. Alloidal title. I don't know. It's basically where you actually have actual real ownership of a piece of property, your house, etc. As you know, no one in Australia, and I don't think I've looked this up, Tony. As far as I'm aware, this can't happen in Australia because we're part of the monarchy. It can happen in the States, can't happen in Australia because all non-owned land is crown land. It's owned by the monarchy, and there's no such thing as a alloidal title in Australia, except for one potential thing. And I have to be very careful how I say this, if you come from a traditional Australian background, whether it's one of the islands or whether it's one of the indigenous population, you can get some kind of alloidal title claiming that. But other than that, you can't get a alloidal title in Australia, as far as I'm aware. Not freehold title. It's not a thing here. So as you know, you might think you own your house. You don't own your house. You may have had your house paid off for 30 years. You don't own your house because if you don't pay your property taxes, the local government or the state government or the federal government can just take your house away from you because you didn't pay your taxes. You don't own your own house. Okay? I'd love to get a alloidal title. Maybe one day in the future, in a different society, maybe a alloidal title will be a thing here in Australia. It's currently not. Let's see. Now, we'll talk about Dr. Artis. I've heard that nicotine is very good for certain things in the body following Dr. Artis. Dr. Artis is one of the people that I started watching a little bit of, and he wasn't the one that really convinced me on it. I watched a whole bunch of different YouTube, videos. I read some articles, etc. But Dr. Artis, I have been watching a little bit of. I find Dr. Artis, just from a personal perspective, taking away the information for a second. I find Dr. Artis, he's a great speaker, and he speaks very well. He's a very good presenter. He's the only one where I go, he's almost too good. And he's almost too good and I really don't want to put this on him, and I don't mean to. He's almost like if there was going to be a snake oil salesman, and I'm not calling him this, if there were, it would be him. And the reason why, if you look at the way he's really intense. He's quite intense, and he's got a great manner about him, but he's always got that little smile on his face and all this. I don't know how to describe it other than the gut feeling of, that's all. But he's got some very interesting information which I've taken in about, nicotinic receptors and, He has some pretty woo-woo stuff, which might be true, about COVID and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've imbibed his stuff as well. I'm just a little bit not on edge. I'm just a little bit with Dr. Artis. Those nicotinic receptors are in the brain for a reason. Yes, same could be said for there you go. Tony, is this correct? Same could be said for the cannabinoid receptors as well. Yes, in the Sons of Liberty Academy, I think it was, from Chris Duane, he also talked about the cannabinoid receptors as well. It was actually a period where I did some experimenting with that side of things as well. I don't do it anymore. I did it very briefly. During that year of experimentation that I talked about back in my early 30s, I actually experimented a little bit with the cannabinoid thing. Okay, I don't do it anymore. It's a very brief period. I got some paraphernalia and I got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Didn't really do a lot for me. But yes, there is something to be said about that too. There are cannabinoid receptors in the brain, just like nicotinic receptors. Hazard, is that available from the chemist? Not this brand, but yes, you can buy all that kind of gum and all that stuff at Thing. I bought this on Amazon because it was a generic version and it was way cheaper than everything else. Once again, not an endorsement, but I did buy it off Amazon, and yeah, I think it's having an effect. Tony says I'm ADHD, so I smoke like a train. There you go. Please don't smoke, Tony. Can I ask you, please don't smoke, mate. Get the patch, man. Get the patch, or do this. Please don't smoke. It's the worst thing in the world to do for you. And we'd like you to be around for a lot longer, please. Dr. Artis is awesome. So many switched on people are in the stacking community. Yes, again, I like his information. I'm just a little weary on the guy, and it's probably because I just haven't watched enough of his stuff. For example, many years I have listened to a few big people, but Stefan Molyneux, Scott Adams, for example, are my two major ones that I listen to. And many people go, oh, that's Stefan Molyneux. He's a fascist. He's a this, he's that. It's like, no, you just haven't listened to a lot of his stuff. Oh, he said that X, Y, Z. It's like, no, that was taken out of context. So again, I'm in the infancy stage of, looking at Dr. Artis stuff. If I imbibe more, he could come to the place where no, this guy's legit, right? Just a little weary. Yes, both gum and patches over the counter. Yes, exactly right. Best way to give up is to put them. Yes, if you want to give up. Yes, I do agree with that. You did that and saved $34,000 in 4 years from not smoking. Tony, if that's a reason to stop quitting smoking just for the monetary effect, please do that for us. Please do it for your health effects. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Joe became disillusioned with his platinum mistress. Now I know I'm going back right in the comments. Patches and gum is available from the chemist. Okay. Thought they stopped selling it because of its goodness for the jabby jab. No, they never stopped doing it. Apparently, though, so Dr. Artis says, and apparently in Australia, I think it's particular. He talked about Australia. He's an American guy, but he talked about Australia. Apparently by 2030, we're not going to have nicotine available. You're going to have to go to the doctor to get it. Why would that be? Why? If we're going down that route, why would they ban that? If it's such a big seller, which it is, all the gums and the patches and the this and the sprays and all that, why would they be wanting to go prescription only in Australia? Why could that be? Get up and walk around, Joe. No, thanks. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll let you know tomorrow. I've heard they are planning... Oh, there we go. 2030. I caught COVID from a shedder. Dead set, no word of a lie. Patches saved my life as I refused to go to the hospital. Very interesting. We're getting live anecdotes right now. This is absolutely fantastic. We're in the tail end of the show, but we're going to get through all of your comments and then I will get out of here. Has it anything good for us they ban? Interesting. I will say I am feeling different. I have that gastro tummy from yesterday. I do feel a little bit different on this nicotine gum. It's interesting. Again, the proof will be in the pudding when I start doing all the stuff after the live show. Like meat. There you go. Anything good for you? Like meat. Exactly. I am a carnivore. Hazard, then that means they will soon. Then that means they will soon be after Joe. Yeah, they'll ban me. What happened this morning? Again, I'm chewing this to get some more flavour, and I'll pop it in this side and see how we go. Excuse me, talking amongst yourselves. 2 seconds. World's most interesting live show. There you go, right there. What was I going to say? Then they'll soon be after me. I almost thought my live stream got banned after I put the word nicotine in the thing because it said the live chat was disabled. I'm like, oh shit. But then I refreshed it. It was fine. I am feeling a little bit more up, I will say. It is giving me some kind of uppy kind of vibe. That's interesting. Let's see. We're talking about nicotine here. Interesting chat, Mum. Okay. Now, let me be very clear with everyone. As I said at the start, none of this is financial advice. This is not medical advice. Do not do this because I tried it for the first time and I'm having an interesting reaction. Nicotine can be, apparently, according to some, it can be very addictive. Okay. According to someone like Dr. Artis, it's actually not addictive. It's actually, it's the pyrazines. Apparently, it's the pyrazines in cigarettes that are the addictive portion and not the nicotine, according to Dr. Artis. But be aware, it could be quite addictive. There's a possibility. So don't do anything I would do. Don't be an idiot and try nicotine live on air for the first time. But it's interesting. I am getting this. I'm feeling good. I get 3 scripts a year and hoard them. Okay, let's see. We got a lot of comments. Sorry, gang. I'll get through them. Always a good morning. Waking up to all-time highs. I do agree with that. All-time high in gold. I was told the cheapest way to buy them was to go on one of the large chemists and buy the largest, strongest milligram packets, then cut them in half. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that would be the cheapest way to do it, but be very careful, people. My personal cure for any flu or the cough is patches, nicotine patches, and an antiviral antibiotic called Doxig. The combo works like magic. I was coming down with something 2 days ago. Now I'm right as rain. Interesting. I'm going right down this nicotine rabbit hole, aren't I? Let's see. Catching up in the comments. We'll try not to talk too much about this. We'll get through your last comments. And there are so many of them. I spend $250 a week on nicotine and $150 on the government version of cannabis. Smoking is my hobby. Tony, I did not realize that. You spend $250 a week on nicotine. That's a lot of nicotine, bro. In terms of the patches. Shoot. Okay. Maybe it is addictive. I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to do that. Joe may have started something. Save us. Oh no. Some of us may become patch stackers. Oh no, we stack silver, we stack gold, we stack skills, we stack satoshis, we stack nicotine patches. Oh shoot. I don't want to be the guy that starts a revolution here, but I'm happy to test stuff in front of you. Joe, bro, you look pale. You look pale. Your teeth are growing longer and there's hair growing out of your forehead. Ah. Let's see. Yeah, Tony's like 2 milligrams, bro. What a lightweight. You should have chewed 14 gums at once. No. That's how I know it could be potentially addictive because you're spending $250 a week on nicotine. That's a shite ton of money, man. So I'm going to have to be careful with this stuff. There's a bit of addiction in my family, like full-on addiction in my family. Well, I won't go into all the detail, but there has been addiction in my family. So that's why I've been pretty straighty 180 my entire life. Never smoked, basically never drank alcohol, except when I'm out or at a gig or whatever. I've been on benders, okay, but I'm not a daily drinker. And again, I had that year of experimentation with some substances, but I've always been very careful because I know I have a family history of addiction in my family. So, yeah. So I'm going to be very careful with this nicotine stuff. Let's see. I love Dr. Artis, very smart. Dr. Artis is a truth teller. Okay, could be. Let me go down to the bottom. Here we go. Tony Peterson says, nicotine gum is not a gateway drug. Do you know what is a gateway drug? I did share it before. As I talk about it, Wealthstack, wealthstack.com. It's the gateway drug to buying physical. Go to Wealthstack, beverage.com. Second plug for that in the one time. Final comments and interesting. Joe, very funny today. That's what it might be. I really, here's my final reaction. I am feeling like I'm a little bit more up and I'm feeling a little bit more sprightly, a bit more of a smile on my face, I guess. Is it? I don't know. It could be confirmation bias and you guys could be observing. It could be your confirmation bias as well. But I feel interesting. The tummy's feeling weird again because of the gastro from yesterday though. Yeah. Oh, don't. I'll send you some patches to try for concentration and calmness, Joe. Okay, I'll take that. Plus, I still got to send you those, those fake gold and silver coins to demonstrate the tissue test live. I would like to do that. Yes, thank you. That would be fantastic. And the DMT receptors. Apocalypse means unveiling. Much truth is coming to light. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it with this. Okay, we're getting a little bit woo, but I'll leave it with this. And why is all of this happening right now? Isn't this a really interesting question? Why am I, dude who's never smoked in my life, why am I trying nicotine gum? What the hell? Why am I even down that road? Many years ago, I've been a self-experimenter for as long as I can pretty much remember. I'm like, yeah, I'll look at the studies and the this and the that, sure, but I won't know till I try stuff myself. As I've said this many, many times before, and we're getting to the last couple of minutes of the show, and get your final comments in right now, and I'll try and read them out before we go. Many years, I've always been ahead of the curve as such when it comes to certain things, particularly self-experimentation. I'll give you the examples once again. Years and years before coconut oil was a thing, before you could buy coconut oil on the shelves in Woolies and Coles and all that, you could just literally go, right, I was getting into coconut oil. This is back in the early 2000s. Someone I worked with was really into health and wellness. It's like, what's all this? And like, he drank raw milk and he used coconut oil to cook with. And I was in the cubicle next to him at this sales job that I had. And he was such an interesting, warm, friendly guy, the most knowledgeable. He was so cool. He lent me books on things and alternative medicines and all that kind of stuff. And I went down that rabbit hole. Again, early 2000, like 2003, 2004. And I was like, I'm going to cook with coconut oil and I learned about the medium chain triglycerides, and it goes to your liver, better for energy and all that kind of stuff, rather than cooking with canola oil and seed oils and all this stuff. So back in the early 2000s, I'm like, seed oils, right? Coconut oil, you couldn't get anywhere except at Food Ingredient Depot. So it was a place called, and they still exist, called the Melbourne Food Ingredient Depot in Brunswick. Right, top end of Lygon Street, like the very top end of Lygon Street. You'd have to go in on 1 or 2 days. They're only open to the public 1 or 2 days a week. I'd have to buy like a big pail of coconut oil. I started cooking with it, right? So that's how early I get into things before it becomes mainstream. And then like, it wasn't until like 8 to 10 years later, you can get coconut oil on the shelves. So that's one instance. Then I started getting into more health and thinking about my diet. I became paleo before paleo became a thing. Now, if you remember paleo, that was a fad years ago now. I was way into paleo before it became a mainstream thing. So then I went through that cycle before everyone else did. Then I became low carb, high fat. And then I became keto before, there was the really, really early innovators, and then I've always been an early adopter of these kind of things. And now keto is a huge thing, right? Now I've been a carnivore for 7 years, 2018, halfway through 2018. I got, what's this carnivore thing? What, meat only and really low carb? I've been a carnivore for 7 years, and now it's getting popular now, but everyone talks about carnivore, okay? My point is, back in, what was I talking about? Yes, the point was, I tend to be that earlier adopter of these things, but why is it happening in a larger scale? Okay, we're talking about the knowledge that's the knowledge that's getting revealed, and I agree with I agree with Scott Adams. If you know Scott Adams, created the Dilbert cartoon series, very popular in the 80s and the 90s. He's a multi-millionaire, very famous for being a cartoonist. He's also a famous hypnotist. He predicted that Trump would win in 2016. He predicted that in 2015 because he goes, no, this guy has the powers of persuasion like you can't believe. What he predicted is, he was the first one to predict it. Him and and Coulter were the first two. And Scott was the first one to go, oh, this guy's going to win. You guys don't know. And everyone was laughing. Oh, Trump, he's a failed billionaire. He's a failed businessman. He's a reality TV star. What a joke. Everyone was laughing. And Scott Adams said, you don't understand what this guy has. Right? He said after Trump won, he said this very clearly, and I don't have the exact quote, but he said, Trump is going to smash the world's view on reality. He's going to literally break reality as you know it. I believe that happened. And I think that was the big catalyst for a lot of other people now talking about all the woo-woo stuff and all this. I think he broke the mold, okay? And he's opened us up to just, all these things like, is smoking bad? Well, smoking's bad for you, but nicotine and this and that and all that other stuff. Carnivore diet, this and all that. I think that was the really big thing. Honestly, Trump getting in, he just broke the mold. So couldn't love him for any other reasons as well. All the other reasons too. Let's see. That's the final comments, I think. And we'll get out of here. I even used to cook oil in my rice. Oh, you used to do the cannibal. You used to do the oil. Yes. What was his name? The guy who came up with that in the rice cooker. I was looking at getting a rice cooker for that reason. Yes, I know what you're talking about. All right, people. Yeah, I got to get out of here. See you, Mark. Everyone's leaving. All right, cool. That has been Good Morning Stackers with me all hyper on nicotine. I've tried it. It's interesting. I will try it again. Let's see what happens in the next couple of hours. Will I have another piece today? Quite possibly. That's been Good Morning Stackers for Thursday, the 20th of March, 2025. Thanks for watching, people. We will do the synchronized slurp, the final synchronized slurp, and we will get out of here. Tomorrow's show, I'm going to be telling you the exact silver mining, rare earth metal stocks, and there's a couple of other things that I'm in at the moment that I just recently got into, okay? Still mainly parked in USD, but I've dipped my toe into the stock market. You will find out what all those are tomorrow morning, the last show for the week tomorrow on Friday. And finally, what we do is we dance it out all nicotined up and grab your tasty beverages. We'll do the final synchronized slurp because this has been
Good morning, Stack.
Oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
Good morning, Stack.
It's podcast
There it is.
time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
Synchronize. slurp.
in 3,
Now
2,
we're on
1.
the
Slurp it.
Good morning.
Woo! Good slurp, people. Stay safe, stay informed. Have an amazing day. Feel good, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.